Aloha Taurus, and welcome to your tarot reading for the week of August 10th through the 17th. We are going to dive in, but before we do, if you would like to get a personal reading with me, you can always go to themagicsiren.com. I have the fresh promo code for August down in the description box below. You'll also find the link to our Patreon there. I post almost every day. We have a ton of fun over there, so go and check it out. You'll also see that we have a weekly podcast called The Siren Circle. Every Sunday, we dive deep into a new topic, so I hope to see you there this Sunday in the circle. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get ready to go into your reading for this week of August 10th through the 17th. We are going to start with the overall theme or vibe for the week. We will move into any potential obstacles or challenges. Then we'll move into how we can overcome those challenges. Then we'll get any extra messages that universe and spirit might have for you. Everybody loved the affirmation cards that we did for the August readings. So we are going to do an affirmation at the end of the video as well to get an affirmation you can use throughout this week. And if you missed your August reading, go ahead and check that out too. We have our love oracles. We have our general oracles. We're going to go ahead and dive right into it. Let's see what's coming in terms of love, emotions, and relationships this week for all of you Taurus friends. And again, make sure you're watching your sun, moon, and rising sign so you can get a complete picture of what's going on this week. All right, let's go ahead and see. We're asking universe and spirit what's going on in terms of love, emotions, and relationships for Taurus this week, August 10th through the 17th. What do we have going on? We have flirt, extend your lighthearted energy to others. This is one of the most fun cards in this oracle deck because it just really represents being flirtatious in life, flirting with your universe, waking up every day and really saying, you know what, I'm the main character of my story, of my movie, and I'm going to live my life like that sort of energy, that main character vibe. This flirt card can represent flirting with a specific person. So for those of you that have somebody that you are interested in on a romantic level, don't be afraid to flirt with them this week. Also, if you are in a relationship and you're trying to maybe bring a little bit of chemistry back or really ignite that flame again, be a little bit flirtatious this week. Don't be afraid to, I don't know, pull out one of your favorite outfits and say, let's do a spontaneous little date night. This flirt card, like I mentioned earlier, does not have to just be romantic in terms of relationships. This can also just be all about being flirtatious with your universe. So again, living your life as if nobody's watching, dancing in the rain, putting on your favorite music and dancing around your house, going and doing things, going for a walk in the park and stopping to smell the roses. It's very much being flirtatious in your life and just allowing yourself to have fun. Now let's go ahead and get a general oracle here. Let's see what else Tarot and Spirit have for us. We have time to decide. Make a decision based on your heart's truest desires. There's some sort of decision here that needs to be made this week, Taurus. Now, this could be a major decision or something even minor, but your universe and spirit team are telling you to listen to your heart on this one. And I think when that comes out in combination with this flirt card, it makes a lot of sense. What makes you feel the best? If you have to choose between this or that, which one makes your heart flutter a little bit? Which one makes you feel a little bit more happy? I wouldn't even necessarily go based on logics. I would go based on more what your heart and your emotions are telling you, especially because we have this time to decide card coming out. For some of you, maybe there is a decision that needs to be made in terms of love, and there is that energy of flirtatious. Can you have your fun, bubbly personality with this person? And if you can, maybe that is going to sway your decision. If you cannot, well, maybe that's a decision in itself. Either way, there is some sort of decision that might have to be made this week. I'm curious to see what Tarot is going to add to this reading because there is that energy of like having to make a decision. So let's go ahead and see what Tarot has to add to the overall theme and vibe for the week. We have the King of Wands. It's coming out in a neutral position. You also have the Ace of Wands. So we have double fire energy. This is still technically Leo season. Leo season will be for the rest of this week and then a couple days into next week. So I think it'll be a little bit easier for everybody that does get double fire energy for the overall theme and vibe to tap into that fire energy. Fire energy is very much confidence, passion, excitement. Again, very similar to a flirtatious energy, right? When we talk about like flirtatious, it is being passionate about life. It is being excited for what's to come. Then there's that energy of confidence that comes with it. This King being in neutral position almost kind of tells me that some of you might be having a hard time stepping into the divine masculine of the fire energy. Now, some of you might have fire in other places in your chart, then I would definitely pay attention to that. That's going to be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Every planet in our birth chart does represent a different area of our life. And if you don't know what's going on with your birth chart, you can always go on Google, do a little Google search, or you can go over to my website and get a birth chart reading. I can help you figure all that out. But the King of Wands in the neutral position just says some of you might have a hard time this week stepping into that energy of passion, finding things to be excited about, getting confident and motivated to start moving forward and make that decision. Some of you might not have confidence in what you want to decide based on what your heart tells you and what your mind says, right? Some of you, your heart and your mind are on different pages, and this card is telling you to maybe follow your heart a little bit more than what would make logical sense. We do have that Ace of Wands as well, and this is the universe and spirit giving you an opportunity to get excited, to have passionate moments, to get confident in your decision. So let's go ahead and see what the potential obstacle or challenge is and why we're having a hard time stepping into the confidence of this decision or finding the thing to get excited about. We're asking universe and spirit, what is the potential obstacle or challenge this week for Taurus? We have the Queen of Pentacles. A lot of you are still very much sitting in your own elemental divine feminine power, which I can't blame you for. This is the Queen of Earth energy. Again, your Earth energy, if you're watching this, hopefully. She is the nurturer. She is the mother in the tarot deck. She nurtures her seeds, herself, her soul, her relationships, everything in her life. She shows up as that grounded, nurturing energy. But if this is showing out in the potential obstacle or challenge for this week, especially when the challenge potentially be, getting excited or stepping into fire energy, I think some of you are having a hard time maybe making a choice or a decision this week because it doesn't feel like it's a grounded decision. Again, I think your heart and your mind are on two different pages. What is your heart telling you? Because at the end of the day, you're going to have to live with your happiness. You're going to have to live with your fulfillment. And I think when we have these sort of bigger picture moments where we look at our life, at the end of the day, all the things that are really going to matter are our experiences and our happiness and our fulfillment. Yes, you might have a decision that you have to make this week, and one side of you is telling, okay, well, maybe it's more logical for me to go in this direction, but I don't really want to go in that direction. I feel better going this way. But in a grounded reality, in this grounded energy, I feel like I should choose this direction. Choose the direction that aligns with your heart. Choose the direction that aligns with the energy of passion and excitement and things that make you feel alive and lit up versus what makes sense or versus what is going to be that stability or the grounded, nurturing energy of Queen of Pentacles. Of course, we still need to nurture ourselves and we still need to make smart choices. But I think for a lot of you, these are decisions that maybe we've put on the back burner for a little while. And this is going to be an opportunity this week to just open up, find your inner spark again, allow it to be ignited, and say, I know that I'm going to nurture myself no matter what path I choose. So which path am I more in alignment with in my heart versus in my head? Let me go ahead and see how you're going to overcome the potential obstacle or challenge this week. We have a 10 of Swords in reversal, just kind of doing it. I think for a lot of you, maybe there have been decisions that you've made in the past and it didn't necessarily work out the way you wanted it to, and you ended up with your feelings hurt, or it was a bummer. Maybe you just felt like there was a betrayal. The 10 of Swords in the upright does feel like betrayal, but it is the end of a chapter. It is the end of a season. And now you see this in reversal, which tells me it already happened, and there's this need for us to take these swords out and just allow ourselves to heal and start moving forward. I think maybe some of you, the time to decide may even be walking away from whatever this chapter was that maybe felt like betrayal, or that maybe felt like, hurt our feelings or stabbed us in the back, right? And now is the time to maybe close that chapter, walk away from that, know that we're going into a new season that is going to bring our spark back, where we're going to find our spark again. But I also feel like that 10 of Swords being in reversal just says that it is time to allow yourself to heal from some of those traumas of the past. I think when we get hurt and it feels like we were betrayed or stabbed in the back or just something that happened that felt like a bummer, it leaves these little trauma responses. We naturally decide to double, triple, quadruple check and think on a decision of going this way or that way. Because the last time we allowed ourselves to maybe take that sort of leap of faith into a decision that was based more on our heart got hurt. Try not to allow previous situations in your life create trauma responses or defense mechanisms that prevent you from having those moments of being the main character in your life, from having the experiences that we will be looking back on at the end of our life. Let's go ahead and get any extra messages that universe and spirit have for you this week. So far this week is all about igniting your inner flame, being flirtatious with your day-to-day life, and making decisions based on your heart's truest feelings and desires. And let's see what else we have. We have the Magician in reversal and the Five of Cups in reversal. Both of these are like, we're having maybe a little bit of a hard time stepping into our manifestation energy because of the disappointment, grief, and loss of our past. This is exactly what I was just saying, and it's the confirmation of what I just said. Some of you really have had things in the past that felt like a disappointment, that felt like grief, that felt like loss, that felt, again, betrayal, stabbed in the back. But this has already happened, right? That's already happened. Not everyone is going to be your ex-partner. Not every job is going to act the way that your last job did. Not every living situation is going to be a horrible experience like that one was. Not everything is going to be like what you experienced before. Allow yourself to shake that experience off and know that you really are the magician and the manifestor in your life. You have all the tools, you have all the experience, you have all the knowledge to plant some seeds this week, starting this week, to start really opening up and growing this life that you truly desire, that does make you feel flirtatious every morning. And I think sometimes it's just hard for us to do that due to trauma responses and defense mechanisms from previous hurts and things like that. Let's go ahead and get an affirmation for you this week, Taurus. I think this is a very empowering reading in the sense of telling you to listen to your heart, right? Listen to your heart and allow yourself to get excited. The last time you got excited, maybe somebody rained on your parade, and just know that's not going to happen again. All right? Anyway, let's see what the affirmation is. It's an affirmation you can use for the next 7 days for this week, August 10th through the 17th. What do we have? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just take this top one. We're just going to take the top one. It says, I am safe to be my true authentic self, which I think is very fitting for this reading. If we think about the flirtatious energy that started this reading of being the main character and allowing ourselves to have fun and getting our spark back, all that energy, that is very much being an authentic version of ourselves. When we talk about making a decision based on your heart's truest desires, that's staying in alignment with your authentic self. Take a screenshot of this, and every day before you start your day, look at yourself in the mirror, look eye to eye, and say, I am safe to be my true authentic self, and truly believe that. You are building a life right now that is safe, that is sacred, that you don't have to worry about making decisions based on trauma responses of the past. Allow yourself to make those decisions this week. Remember that you are the main character. Open up, crack open that shell that maybe you have, cocooned yourself in a little bit due to previous experiences, and know that you are safe to be an authentic version of you, Taurus. Love this message for you. If you are still watching and you have not liked this video yet, consider liking this video. Consider subscribing to the channel. It's free. Come and join us. We love making new friends. And like I mentioned earlier, if you would like to get a personal reading with me, you can always go to themagicsiren.com. I left all that information down in the description box below. With that being said, I'm going to let you get back to your day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you again next week. Aloha.